Hi guys, we're back with another BindTuning webinar. This time we'll be talking about Bootstrap. I'm here with Anna, our expert for this webinar.
Hey guys!
Before learning more about Anna, let's review some housekeeping notes. These sessions are totally free, ongoing and always updated. The webinar will be recorded and sent out shortly after. And we love for you to interact with us, so feel free to use the chat or the hashtag BindTuningWebinar. So let's meet our expert, Anna. Anna is a web developer at BindTuning. She does both front-end and back-end development, but she really loves to do front-end, especially on those days when she's feeling creative. She fell in love with Bootstrap from day one, and she's here to talk about this amazing framework. On the agenda, we'll include Bootstrap 3 in your website and its dependencies, more about Bootstrap responsive 12-column grid system to create flexible layouts, and organizing content and space on your website. So Anna will pick it up now.
Thanks, Claudia. Before we get started talking about using Bootstrap, I thought you might want to know a little bit of background about what exactly Bootstrap is. Bootstrap is a responsive design framework which was designed to help you quickly and easily build websites and web applications. So you can either just work with the static HTML as it comes to you with Bootstrap, or we can combine this with a content management system, for example, which is what we actually do at BindTuning, and so you can turn this into something more dynamic. Bootstrap is currently the most popular project on GitHub. GitHub is a repository of different open source projects, and the popularity of these projects is measured in stars. And Bootstrap has more stars than any other project on GitHub. It's extremely powerful framework, and it's popular around backend developers in particular because Bootstrap is a great way to build a very simple front-end design for a website without having to know a ton of HTML and CSS. It's also popular with designers to be used as a starter kit for their own creations. Bootstrap is used in tons of websites. You can find Bootstrap websites if you go to builtwithbootstrap.com. Lovebootstrap.com is another one that will show you several great Bootstrap sites. So on the latest version of Bootstrap, which is version 3, has been built once again from the ground up to have a mobile first approach. This means that the way the grid system is designed is for you to think about how you are going to lay out your designs first on mobile screens, such those that come on a mobile phone, and then you can scale up the sizes of those designs to larger environments. Previously, in version 2, we had a fully responsive grid system and an adaptive grid system. This time, for the third version of Bootstrap, it's just the grid system responsive, but a lot of functionality has been added to it. There is 4 different sizes for the grid, including extra small that targets phones, small which targets tablets, medium which targets small desktops, and large size grids which target larger desktops, as we'll see later. As you might know, most of BindTuning themes are built with Bootstrap. You can think about BindTuning themes as something that comes off of the shelf. We download a theme with the custom colors, plug it right into your content management system, then you drop a logo, suit up content using some Bootstrap classes, and you are done. You have a complete front-end design for your website. So moving on, let's see what are the files that the Bootstrap include. So for this, let's visit Bootstrap website. Let's go to the home page. Okay, so the official website is at getbootstrap.com, and everything you ever wanted to know about Bootstrap is somewhere on this site. This is where you can download Bootstrap and where you can read all the documentation about it. It seems that Bootstrap has been updated since its first release on version 3. These updates are usually bug fixing and also adding a few minor features. Bootstrap is currently in 3.2.0 version. Before we start playing with it, let's download it to see what we get. We are interested in the final version of Bootstrap and not in the source code development. Next, I'm going to walk you quickly what we downloaded from the Bootstrap site. Let's unzip it. So Bootstrap delivers CSS folder, which includes CSS style sheet with all the Bootstrap styles, and we have an uncompressed and also a minified version. We also have a Bootstrap theme.css, which should provide you an easy way to adapt Bootstrap styles to your needs, since you can override some default styles. Then we have fonts folder. So by default, Bootstrap includes Glyphicans fonts, and here we have the icons font for Glyphicans. And finally, we have a GS folder where you can find all the JavaScript code for Bootstrap plugins, such as a slider. So now let's moving on to our website, BindTuning. I will open it up, and we'll pick a theme to build our demo. So I choose Terra theme for HTML5, and I will pick here color palette. Okay, everything looks good except for this header that I want it to be white. So I'm going to go over here, select other settings, select menu, and this first option should be the header. Yes, it is. So let's type here white hexadecimal code. Okay, and there we go. So the next step is download the theme, but I already ordered this theme, and I can access it into my account. And I can download directly from here. I have already extracted the theme to my computer, and there are other couple of files that are included with this theme, mainly HTML and CSS files that we won't need them for this particular demo, so I throw them away. So I wanted to use homebox HTML layout. Let's open it using Visual Studio. I used Visual Studio just because it helps me with the intelligent code completion. So this is my starting HTML page. Now let's start linking up the files we have here, that we have included here, with the Bootstrap theme. Now let's start linking up the files we need in order to make this document works with Bootstrap. The first thing we have here is a link for CSS file. Bootstrap.css is actually included in this file. We send it all together for performance reasons. And then we have a link for Phantasm CSS. Phantasm is a set of icons as well as glyphicons, so it actually provides icons that you can use in your site. We deliver Phantasm icons because they were designed to Bootstrap, and they include more than 400 icons. Now you might wanted to know what does this particular tag here do. Well, this is a tag that you include when you are working with responsive design, and the purpose of this tag is to scale screens correctly. No matter whatever you are working with, a very large screen or small screen, the web page is designed to scale to fit those particular devices, and that's what that line of code is doing, and it's a good practice to include it. Next thing we have here is a block of code regarding HTML5 chief.js and also respond.min.js. So these are JavaScript files that were designed for helping older version of Internet Explorer 8 to understand HTML5 semantic markup and other incapabilities that it might have. And because Bootstrap JavaScript relies on jQuery, we also have a reference to jQuery that must come before the call of Bootstrap.js. And finally, we have here Bootstrap.js, which makes slider models and collapsible content and so forth to work. Now let's see how the web page looks like at this moment. I'm going to open it with Chrome. Okay, there we go. So in this is our starting point. I already added some content to this page. I used some Bootstrap elements and features, such as buttons, wells, tables. Here are some icons with table. This is a slider, and okay, these are block codes. Now let's move on to our slides. We already did basic BindTuning customization and download, so let's moving on and let's talk about the grid system. Bootstrap ships with 12 columns grid system, It's mobile first grid, meaning that it's designed for you to think about all small screens before, and then think about the larger desktop designs. Let's have a look to this example. To create a row with 2 columns, first we have to declare a div class row, and then 2 columns, each one occupying 6 of 12. Bootstrap also allows you to create nesting columns, which is very useful. Oh, I'm sorry. There we go. So this is the nesting columns. That is very useful in terms of content organization. And moving on, this is how you can get 3 columns and also 4 columns. Pretty straightforward, right? So this is the structure you want to achieve in our homepage demo. We want to have a left sidebar here with some useful links. We do want to have a central area for the most important information, and then we want to have a right sidebar with some news. So let's go back to our HTML file. We are going to see how to organize content using Bootstrap 3 grid system. Please note that this demo we are using pure HTML approach. So the same code I'm using here is actually work in any CMS you might use, since you can generally add your content as HTML code. And although Bootstrap was created for website development and web applications in mind, you will see that you can use it not only for public websites, but also for intranet websites. So I already wrapped the content that should belong to each column. So let's start adding the row. So as you saw before, we always start with class row, and then we start building the columns. So in this case, we want a column with medium size occupying 3 out of 12. The second column should be 6 out of 12, and the last one, which is up here, is called 3 again. Okay, let's save this and open it again. Let's refresh the page, and okay, so my page looks so much better now. Now I'm going to use Resizer extension for Chrome to see whatever my home page looks like in some common devices. So starting with widescreen desktops, it looks very nice. Moving on to tablets. Well, there are some empty areas here. Let's see the other ones. Okay, so we are in mobile phones, and it looks good, but tablets, the content could be more condensed, especially for this first column. So how we can solve this? Do you have any idea if Bootstrap has a workaround? So the answer is yes. Fortunately, there is. In Bootstrap 3, we can handle the columns behavior. And you might be asking how? Well, there are 4 sizes to this grid now, rather than before with Bootstrap 2, where we just had basically going horizontal across the page and it went vertically for smaller screens. Now we have 4 grid systems, sorry, 4 grid sizes, including extra small, small, medium, and large. That allows you to control columns behavior on mobile devices, tablets, desktops, and also large desktops, respectively. So we want the content to be stacked, but only for tablet viewports. So we want the content to be stacked, but only for mobile viewports. For tablets, we still have enough space for 2 columns. So to target tablet viewports, we can use the small grid. I'm going to add some extra classes for these columns to handle its behavior on tablets. So let's see. I wanted it with 2 columns here. So let's try something. First column, let's use the column small column 6, as well as the second one. Okay, save the file. Let's see how it works. Okay, now we have 2 columns on the top, which looks good, but I do prefer having the first column to be smaller than the second one. So I will adjust just these values, and I will apply here 4 and 8. Okay, note that the sum of this columns should always be 12. So there we go. Okay, it looks good to me. So that was what I was looking for. So as you can see, you can think about grid system as the skeleton of your website. So it's very, very important to use it correctly. We are very close to the end. I just wanted to give you some tips of Bootstrap elements you can use in order to have more available space in your page. Moving on to our slides. So the first tip I have here is icons. So you can use icons instead of words. Of course, you cannot do this all the time, but sometimes you can, such as here we have an icon that describes the status of this value. Okay. Next, models. Models are great to add secondary content, or for example for forms, which can be accessed every time that you need it. So let's see. Here we have a link to add a new link So here is a model, and we can throw it away when we don't need it anymore. The next tip is tooltips and popovers to provide extra information when necessary. On this example, we used a tooltip here to provide additional information. Finally, we have collapsible content. Well, you can use collapsible content to keep information hidden until you need it. In this case, we attach a couple of extra information to the graphic. Okay, we are almost done. So if you are not convinced with Bootstrap yet, I suggest you to read the following article, Why I Love Bootstrap and Why You Should Too. And this is all I have for you today, so thank you.
So if you want to contact Anna, use the email anna@bindtuning.com, or you can use the support, or you can contact us via social on Twitter, Facebook, Google+, YouTube, and Pinterest. Okay, now let's move on to Q&A. So do you have any questions?
Is there any question you have related to Bootstrap?
Okay, doesn't seem to have any questions. So thank you for attending this webinar, and thank you, Anna, for giving us some insights about Bootstrap.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.